Hello everyone, this is Sachin, founder and CEO of Requestly, and today we have a very exciting company with us, and the founders Ian and Luke, who are the founders of Stadia Maps. Ian and Luke, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Sachin. I'm Luke Seelenbinder, co-founder and CEO of Stadia Maps, and I am originally a developer trained as a computer scientist, and eventually found my way into startup life and founded Stadia Maps 6 years ago.
And I'm Ian.
Nice.
I've been working together with Luke for most of the last 10 years. Originally got my start professionally doing mobile app development, specifically with the iPhone. And in the course of that, obviously, ended up working with a lot of maps and started Stadia Maps together with Luke because we found that there was a pretty big need for this kind of thing in the market.
Awesome, awesome. So, Ian and Luke, we would love to know more about what Stadia Maps is, what problem does it solve, and for whom.
Sure. So Stadia Maps was born out of our own problems. Ian and I were working for a fairly large media company in the US, and they had a fairly minor maps integration, but that looked really cool. And it was using Google Maps platform at the time. And when Google Maps changed their pricing significantly about 6-7 years ago, they were going to have this one web page go from costing $0 a month to $700 a month. And
Oh
obviously
my
that's
God.
a big problem because there was really no value being created for the company. They just wanted it to have the map as a nice to have. And as developers and want to be entrepreneurs, Ian and I looked at the problem and realized perhaps there's a better solution. So as a result, we created what is now Stadia Maps. We started with, as you can probably guess, maps for this media tech company, and then quickly iterated into routing APIs, which allows you to create a navigation application in the web or on mobile apps, a matrix API, which allows you to get to a bunch of different places as most efficiently as possible. We also offer time zone APIs for those that get lost about time zones, as we all do. And we have a lot of other APIs coming up. We just launched satellite maps, which we're really excited about. And we have a closed beta for geocoding coming up, which is the process of turning addresses into coordinates and vice versa. And long term, we're excited about the idea of becoming the location platform alternative in the next few years.
Nice, nice. That's pretty awesome, Luke. And in fact, Requestly also started as a need of my own when I was debugging an issue in production, so I could totally relate. Yeah, and like since Maps is a very visual element, it has a lot of moving things, 2D maps, 3D maps of different places, etc. So, do you mind sharing any public references of Stadia Maps, or maybe a couple of websites where we can check like how Stadia Maps look like?
Yeah, for sure. Let me share my screen here. This is something that we've been playing around with, and it's kind of a beta quality level thing, but bringing in the satellite maps that we recently launched and combining that with 3D elevation models. We've recently launched the ability to have a 3D terrain map, and this is extremely useful for outdoors use. And we're going to be putting some demos up how you can make some beautiful maps like this yourself in the near future. If you go to our website, we've got a really nice full screen map page that Luke just built. You just go to Maps and click Explore, and you'll end up on this Explore the Map page. Here I'm showcasing our new satellite style, and you could click a couple of locations that we think are really beautiful here from the air, like New Zealand, London. We just kicked off with, and then zooming over here to Berlin, and you get this nice airplane flying effect. One of the integrations that we're the most proud of, though, is Brave Search. Brave, you may have heard of. They've built a web browser that's focused on privacy, and they take this commitment extremely seriously. And as you might imagine, when you're doing a web search and then you have to go and load some map tiles that are related to your web search, that provides a lot of information to the other party about what kind of thing you're searching for. So, for example, I've typed in a search here for restaurants in Seoul, and you get this nice map. And shameless plug for ourselves, obviously. We're the provider for Brave, and the reason for that is because we've worked with them to ensure the absolute privacy of users. So we actually don't see who is directly responsible for the request at the end of the day.
Awesome. Like pretty impressive. Like getting an integration with Brave browser is a very big milestone.
Yeah, and you don't need to use Brave browser for this, obviously. This is I'm using Firefox right now, and all you just need to go to searchbrave.com. Yeah.
Cool. And any particular insight and learnings like from this journey of building Stadia Maps?
Sure. So I'm actually going a little bit technical here, and a few things we learned along the way. One is the more pieces of the stack you control, the better the performance you can deliver to the end user. So we originally started using a off-the-shelf CDN and learned very quickly that while it's very good for classic HTTP applications, such as just web applications or something like that, API requests, we found that for maps, it actually introduced a limitation. And as a result, we created our own CDN, something I never thought I'd ever do, but something that resulted in very stable and very high performance results for our users. And so that the way we got there is just realizing that within Maps, since it's such a unique space and the number of requests and the amount of data that's being transferred, by taking ownership of that, we could deliver much better results. And even though it's kind of counterintuitive to go build your own CDN, it's really underpinned everything we can do, including offering privacy today because we control kind of the entry points and exit points of our services, and so many other things about the stack.
Yeah. All right. I would love to know more about how do you stumble upon Requestly, and how does the integration of Stadia Maps look like on a website?
Yeah, so we stumbled across Requestly because I was about to do a sales call, and as I frequently am, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning and kind of bored, and I was thinking, it would be kind of cool if I could actually show the client exactly how Stadia Maps would look on their website. Like obviously we showed you with the video demo earlier, okay, you can go and see our satellite maps or any of our other styles, and that's cool, but in this particular case, it was a real estate application, and they wanted to, their whole website is built around having their own overlays on the map. This particular one was about showing the outline of a particular field that was for sale. So I wanted a quick way to do that. And so I ended up finding Requestly via a Stack Overflow answer, which did not have nearly enough upvotes, and because it's exactly the right tool for the job. So I found that and was like, oh, this is great. So all that I have to do is intercept the requests that were going to a competitor and replace them with our map tiles, and then boom, it shows up right there on the map.
Awesome. Do you mind sharing an instance or maybe a live demo of that?
Yeah, sure. So here's a demo though of it in action. Just a second, let me drag all these zoom bars and stuff out of the way so I can actually see. So this is the website of a sales prospect, and I've got two tabs set up here actually, and if you toggle back and forth between them, you can actually see the difference. This is the original one, which you can see via the Requestly thing here not lighting up green, and then on this one you can see the Requestly had intercepted some of the requests, and so you can see the farm fields in this case with the borders drawn around them. So it's everything about the client's application is exactly the same, except that the map tile request for the satellite imagery and the rest of the style are actually going to us. And we're able to set this up pretty simply with just a replace rule here, where we first intercept the request for the style and then the request for the fonts.
Awesome. And how much time did you take to set up this rule? Was it hard, or was it pretty much user intuitive?
It was pretty easy. The only honestly, it took me way more time to find that the tool existed than it did to set it up. It probably only took me 20 20 minutes or something to set it up, because I'm actually sure what the approach was. Like, first I was thinking like there was some complicated way I could like intercept it with like a regex rule or something, and it turned out all I needed to do was intercept the style. So yeah.
That's awesome. And what are the other ways that Requestly helps you with?
Another one that we're exploring right now, we haven't actually done this a whole lot yet, but is validating how quickly a potential customer would be able to switch, because certain customers are very deeply integrated with a competitor. So being able to detect if I can pull up their website and a simple request rewrite rule with Requestly works, then we know that we can actually tell them and like even send them a code sample and say like, hey, this is a kind of a presumptive sale technique. Like, hey, all you have to do is like switch these few lines on your website and boom, it'll all work. Whereas for the more complex integrations, then that'll help us in our sales process know that this one might take a little bit more work because they're using some more advanced features of the competitor.
Awesome. I think that's pretty impressive. Any last tips, words for the audience?
When I think about Requestly, I think it fits one of the key aspects of really selling a product, and that's show, don't tell. When you're talking to a user and you want to demonstrate the power of your solution, show them. Don't spend 1,000 words trying to demonstrate how powerful this is. Just do it. And Requestly gives you the power to just, with a couple rules like Ian was showing a few minutes ago, replace that whole flow, at least for us, and we can show our users how comparable we are to our competitors, or perhaps better in many cases. And from their perspective, they're in their application, they're familiar with the interface. It's not a demo app we put together that sort of mocks their website. It's actually their application. And to me, we get to show them, and it doesn't take much for us to say.
Yeah,
that's very powerful line.
I've actually got one quick thing to add as well, and that's that it also fits with our ethos of providing like human, we call it human support, because that's like the obvious description of what it is, but it's being kind to the user and making decisions easy for them, and just like Luke was saying, showing and not telling. And it is also pretty cool that the reason why we're even having this call today with you, Sachin, is that I had a question when I was first setting up Requestly, and I ended up in a live chat directly with you, and I was like, oh, this is actually like really cool. This company's got the founders doing support as well, which is something that we do and we're proud of as well.
Awesome. So thank you so much, guys. I think it was really nice having you here, and I personally got to learn a lot from this journey of yours and the product that you have built, and wish you all the best.
Thanks. Same to you.